Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Friday. Today is the 10th day of May. It's National Clean Up Your Room Day. You think our daughter will celebrate that
Or
today?
our son?
Holy
No.
cow. What happened to our children? We have a pretty tidy room.
My room, only because I clean
Yeah,
it.
I guess you do all the work on that. I would have piles of stuff sitting everywhere, like our kids. Never mind. I know what happened. It's also National Lipid Day today, National Shrimp Day. I like shrimp. Heidi
What's a
does.
lipid?
Oh, I don't know. I was going to just blow past that because I'm not sure. It's like a liquid, but it's a lipid. I'm going to have to Google that now. Heidi's allergic to shrimp. You developed an allergy. That's too bad.
I did.
National Washington Day, National Military Spouse Appreciation Day, and thank you to the military spouses for your commitment and everything that you've done as well, because you put a lot on the line by giving up your spouse for a bit. That's really a cool thing. And it's National Provider Appreciation Day. All of those things happening. Coming up in a bit, we're going to visit with Joe Milliken. He's got a book called Let's Go. It's about Benjamin Orr from the Cars. I'm excited to learn a little more about this. We're going to be chatting with Joe in just a bit.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A new study found that obese people who commute to work by car are more likely to suffer a premature death. So that's not good.
I would say just stopping at obese people are more likely to die. But
if you're
so obese people that
commute to work
take
by
the bus, they're not going to die? Or
if they
obese
walk,
people that walk to work?
or ride their bikes? You know, apparently all of those things are better. And I suppose even if you're riding the bus, you got to get off the bus and walk a ways to get to the...
You got to get out of your car and walk to the building.
Yeah, you can drive right up to the door. I'm an obese people,
I think
and I know what I'm talking about.
just stopped at obese people are more likely to die of premature
Well, if you want to know
death.
more, Heidi has it all figured out. But if you want to know more, I've got a link to it in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. It says here, Portland man is facing felony criminal charges after, get this, he created a homemade bomb with dog feces inside of it and tricked a former friend into setting it off. 48-year-old Rob Alexander Stout, says here he's 48, says that twice. Seriously, says 48-year-old, his name, age 48.
Okay.
Somebody apparently edited that wrong. And it wasn't me this time. Put the bomb into a plastic toolbox, filled it with dog feces from his yard, and then gave it to his friend to blow up. So he was watching pranks online and thought this would be funny. Well, it ended up getting him arrested. When they went to see if he had more destructive devices in his home, they found a bunch of meth and a sawed-off shotgun.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so he got himself in a whole lot of trouble, all because he thought, oh, this will be funny. No, it wasn't funny. You're lucky your friend didn't die. That would be really bad. I've got a link to that story and all the details in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Catherine McPhee's friends threw her a surprise bachelorette party in London after she finished performing in The Waitress. So there you go. Luke Perry, who passed away, what's that, a couple months ago now?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's been a little longer than that.
He was buried in an eco-friendly suit made out of mushrooms. I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That's apparently a thing. CBS announced that former morning host Nora O'Donnell is going to host the evening news starting in July. That's kind of cool. And Pete Davidson, the guy from Saturday Night Live,
yeah, I remember
he
him.
has apparently a really good agent. He keeps wiggling his way into this news. I don't know why. But Pete Davidson spent $400 at McDonald's to feed his friends and audience and staff during the Avengers movie. So he went to the Avengers movie. He's like, I have a hankering for McDonald's. And he's like, anybody else want some? Burgers for everybody. $400 worth of McDonald's. That's pretty cool. I'd do that if I could.
It must have been a small theater.
I don't know. It doesn't. I have no idea. Doesn't have the details on that. You'd think it would have cost more to take a whole theater?
I would think so. Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, maybe everybody only got one item.
Off the dollar menu.
There you go. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, your scoop of the day brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. A new report claims that a growing number of American companies want to ban all forms of physical contact in the workplace. I heard about this. They won't even allow you in some places to shake hands with a coworker. Isn't that weird?
Well, because they're afraid of lawsuits.
I know. I think that's
so sad that this is what
Don't do that.
Some people have turned our society into.
Don't do that. Homelessness has hit a record high, but only in two places, New York City and San Francisco. In other places, it's not as big a deal, but those two, it has hit a record high, so that's not good. A video has gone viral of 3 deer running out of the field during a baseball game in Cleveland. It was at the Case Western Reserve University, and 3 deer ran onto the field during a ball game. Can you imagine that, Heidi? 3 deer running out during a ball game?
That would be adorable.
Yeah. It's the only
I would
time,
love it.
The only time baseball and $3 are ever in the same sentence, though. It's gotten very expensive. We went to a ball game last year, and I think it was $93 for a hot dog. Okay, it might have been
I don't think it was
a
quite
little
$93.
less than that. No, it was a lot. It was way more than $3. I know that. But 3 deers ran onto the baseball field. Do you say deers or just deer?
Deer.
That's what I thought. So I said it wrong. A professor at Oxford University claims that aliens are breeding with humans on Earth.
Okay. Well, that would explain a few of our our celebrities that we've got right about now.
And who's going to prove him wrong? I mean, how do you know that's not right? He's a professor at Oxford University. I mean, that trumps me. I'm just a dude that reads stories on the radio, and usually not even well. So there you go. United States now has 706 reported cases of the measles just this year. And that is the highest number since 1994, and the year is not even close to done.
Yeah, that's awful.
So a lot of people out there that have the measles. Have you ever had the measles, Heidi?
No.
No, nor have I.
No, because I was vaccinated.
Yeah, I've not had the measles, so I'm going to try to steer clear of those of you who are getting the measles. A study from Earth.com found that having a poor sense of smell can lead to an earlier death. I'm very concerned for you, Heidi.
No.
Yeah. Heidi has a poor sense of smell.
Jeez.
I will say
that, and I drive a car to work. I am in trouble.
Yeah, that was from earlier in the show. It's what they call a callback. But if you weren't listening, it wouldn't make much sense. So yeah, that does concern me a little bit, because there are times we'll walk in somewhere and I'll say, do you smell that? And I kind of forget that I shouldn't even ask Heidi. She's like, I don't smell nothing. But that's probably why it's worked out so well between us now for almost 20 years. Like, other people are like, hey, big smelly pig. And Heidi's like, I see he's a pig, but I don't smell nothing. So, I mean, it's okay. It works out. A survey by the Treasury Department found that our GDP, the gross domestic product in the United States, has grown by 3.2% in the first quarter of 2019. So that's positive news.
That is very positive news.
Cracker Barrel is adding fried chicken to their menu for the first time in 50 years. So they haven't had fried chicken for 50 years, and all of a sudden they're like, you know what? We should fry some chicken around here. So there you go. Video has gone viral of a man running the London Marathon dressed as Big Ben, the clock tower.
Why?
I don't know why. He just felt like it, apparently.
Alrighty.
And one last story here. We mentioned, I don't know, a month ago, something like that, about this thing called Woodstock. Apparently it's some music festival. Happened 50 years ago. Well, they had another one that was coming up, the Woodstock 50th Anniversary Festival, Watkins Glen, New York. Well, it was canceled due to health and safety reasons. So that's sad. I know there were people that were really excited about that.
Yeah, but I mean, if there's all these measles outbreaks and stuff, it's probably a bad idea to hold something giant like that.
Yeah, I know. It makes sense, but it's sad news for those of you who are planning on going. I was not one of those people, but I know there were some that were. That's going to do it for today's Scoop of the Day, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at BetterCreditCards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.net. BetterCreditCards.net. That's BetterCreditCards.net.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We have a special guest joining us right now, Joe Milliken. He has a new book called Let's Go, Benjamin Orr and the Cars. Joe, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. Excited to chat with you. Now, let's talk a little bit about the book, Let's Go, Benjamin Orr and the Cars. What was the inspiration to write a book on this particular band and this particular topic?
Well, I have been a published writer for about 20 years, but it had all been newspapers and magazines. So this is actually my first attempt at a book, which is a totally different animal, I learned, as opposed to writing newspapers and magazine stuff. So I had a short list of book ideas that I was looking at, but I hadn't really made a final decision as to what I wanted to write about, other than that it was going to be music-related, because I consider myself a music journalist, first and foremost. And one day I got a phone call out of the blue from a Cars fan. This is going back a ways. This is back to the MySpace days before even Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And this fan had seen my profile on MySpace, saw that I was a music journalist, saw that I was from Boston, where the Cars launched, saw that I lived in Vermont, where Ben Orr actually lived towards the end of his life, saw that I listed the Cars as a major influence, so she just called me out of the blue and said, hey, you should write a book about Ben Orr. So I thought about it and said, well, why wouldn't I just write a book about the Cars, the whole band, and not just an individual? And she said, well, you should look into Ben's life a little bit and investigate him, and you might change your mind. So I did. I looked into Ben's life a little bit, and I found out this whole other aspect of his life that I didn't know about, that he was from Cleveland, the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I thought was really cool. And I learned that he was a teen star growing up. He had his own band at the age of 7. Well, his first band, he was in band since he was 13 years old, but he was in a band at the age of 17 called the Grasshoppers, which was one of the hottest bands in Cleveland at the time. And there was also a music television show based in Cleveland at the time called Upbeat. And it was kind of like an American Bandstand kind of show. And Ben's band was the house band for that show.
Oh, wow.
I thought to myself, are you kidding me? A 17-year-old kid who's got his own band and he's already on a nationally syndicated television show? And this was over a decade before the Cars even surfaced. So I thought that was the hook. I asked a couple of my friends who were Cars fans and asked them if they knew anything about this, and nobody knew about Ben's early life, and that was the hook. That was like, okay, I'm going to tell this guy's story. And basically, that's kind of how it happened, by happenstance.
And again, he left us way too early and very, very young. Was it 2000? Is that when he passed away?
That's correct, 2000. Yeah, he was 53 years old. 53 or 54, but yeah, he passed away way too young, unfortunately.
Again, the name of the book is Let's Go, Benjamin Orr and the Cars. We're visiting with the author of that book right now, Joe Milliken. Now, this is your first book. You've done a lot of other writing. Do you have some other ideas in mind for book number 2, 3, 4, those others coming down the pike?
Yeah, as a matter, I've gotten that question a little bit. And, yeah, I do plan on writing a second book. Again, like I did the first go-around, I have a short list of ideas. But I have been, even though this book is complete, and even though the book is done now, I think generally speaking, people will think, okay, you're done with this one, what's next? But actually, there's still a lot of work to do, as I'm here with you, doing a lot of promotion and stuff. So I'm going to be busy for the next few months promoting this book. But to answer your question, yes, I do have some ideas, and I will be starting another book. Just haven't quite made a final decision yet of what I'm going to do, although I do know, again, it's going to be a music-related book. So I'm kind of working on my next idea.
Well, when the next one is done, I hope we get a chance to chat with you about that one as well.
Oh, I would love it. Absolutely.
Again, Joe Milliken has been our guest today. The book is called Let's Go, Benjamin Orr and the Cars, and it's available right now. I'm going to make it really easy to find. I'll throw a link to that in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Hummingbirds can fly backwards.
I've seen them do that. I love hummingbirds.
They're pretty darn cool. They can beat their wings up to 80 times a second. They can move forward and backward in the same speed and efficiency. They just hover, basically. Scientists have studied this phenomenon, filming the fast birds as they move toward a feeder and back and forth. And it says here they'll blow air on them to push them away, and the hummingbird will just adjust with ease and then come right back to where he was planted.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Cool.
They're so pretty, and they're
Can you
so
imagine
much
being
fun
a
to watch.
scientist that's just bugging the little hummingbird while he's trying to eat? What do you do all day? Torment hummingbirds. That does not sound like a good job. Thanks for listening to today's Fun Fact.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, fear this. Time for fun with phobias. Musophobia. 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 I don't think you're going to get this, but once you hear it, you're going to probably go, oh, I can kind of see it.
Okay.
Fear of mice. I think it should be mousophobia, not musophobia.
It should be meese.
Mesophobia?
Those Mises.
Should it be Misophobia?
I hate those Mises to pieces. Remember that cartoon character?
How about Misophobia? I don't think that's the way it goes. But
don't you remember him?
I do, but it was wrong then. It ain't Mises. It's Mices. It's mice. It's mice. Today's fun with phobias.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A Gainesville, Florida man decided to sing karaoke when the cops were trying to arrest him. What? This is weird news. You can't make this stuff up. They were there they were searching for 29-year-old Darian Glass, had an active warrant for battery. They arrived. The woman said she didn't know if Glass was home, but then he came out of his room with a microphone in hand. When they said, hey, we're here to pick you up, he started singing karaoke to them.
What was he
Deputies
singing?
offered him
Bad Boys?
I don't know. It says here deputies offered multiple times for him to surrender, but he continued to sing. He was arrested on a warrant for battery, also charged with resisting arrest, taken to the jail. It doesn't say what he was singing.
I want to know what he was singing.
I fought the law and the law won. I don't know if that's what it was. I just think it would be wonderful to get some badge footage. What do they call that? Not badge. What do they call that? The body cam.
Body cam.
I need some body cam footage to go with this story, Gainesville, Florida. Police, come on, send it over. I've got a link to it in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. And it's not from Florida this time, Heidi. It's from Iowa, your home state.
Okay.
It's brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. An Iowa man is facing child porn charges when he spilled gravy on a computer and then took it into a Best Buy, the Geek Squad, to fix it. And they found it was riddled with porn, with children images.
That's not
So 54-year-old Robert Leo Watson brought his computer in Des Moines. And it says he spilled gravy. They have gravy in quotations every time they say it. So it's gravy he spilled on his computer. I don't know why they have it in quotations.
I bet I have a guess.
I don't want to know. Anyway, he wanted to get all the files transferred to a new computer.
It appears to be country style.
Would you stop? During the file migration, the Geek Squad noticed multiple images
Pretty
that were being...
salty.
Would you stop it? They noticed multiple images that were being transferred that were child pornography. So the police were contacted and they seized the computers as evidence, and he got himself in all kinds of trouble.
I bet he did.
Yeah, that's not good. It's today's moment of duh.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, these three things. Heidi, tell me, what do these three things have in common? A king, a tooth, and a gemstone. They all have this. A king has one of these, a tooth has one of these, and a gemstone has one of these. What do they have? Thinking right up here.
Enamel.
No, a king has enamel. How about a crown? What? Every once in a while, your answer baffles me. A king, a tooth, and a gemstone.
Hey, kings have teeth.
There you go.
And I guarantee you, their teeth have enamel.
There you go. Well, maybe
I don't know how to
partial
make the
credits.
gemstone make sense.
The gemstone doesn't make sense, but it has a crown. That's these three things.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of ripitgloves.com. R-I-P-I-T gloves.com. Promo code radio. Take a listen to this. There's a story. Do you know where this is from, Heidi? You were the one that sent this to me.
Yeah, I don't know where it was located, but I just thought it was a really neat story.
Really cool story. Do you want to, since this was yours, do you want to kind of share it?
No, you can.
That means I need to open the file over here? Is that what you're saying? I didn't even open it because you sent it. We watched the video like 2 minutes ago. So she's like, hey, I think you should use this for good news because it's really good news. It is an adorable story. It's a group of police officers who invited a group of students to the prom.
Special needs students.
So there were some special needs students, and they went to the police officers went with them.
Came with them to prom as their dates, full uniform.
Yeah.
And
Everybody,
they all exchanged flowers.
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh, it was adorable.
And everybody had so much fun. And you could see these smiles. They were like the biggest
well, even on the
smiles
police
ever.
officers. The officers were having just as much fun as the kids.
And it actually said in the story, we don't know who had more fun.
Right.
The officers or the students.
It's such a great video.
And I can tell you this, it doesn't matter who had more fun. Everything about that was awesome.
Yes.
So I think that's really, really cool. And Heidi, thank you for sharing that. Did somebody send that to you or you just found that?
No, it was on my newsfeed.
Okay. She was scrolling through and found it. If you happen to be scrolling through and find some good news somewhere, I would love it if you'd think of us and share that. You can do it right through Facebook if you want, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show, or you can send it to us through our website, johnandheidishow.com. I've got a site that I go to and I find good news. If nobody sends me something, I'll use that. But I love it when people think of us. And quite often they'll find silly stories too, and you can share those. So I'll have it where somebody does something really silly, and then I'll have like 7 people send it to me, and they'll say, hey, this made me think of you. And I'm going, Hopefully because of the show and not because you think I would do that. But if you've come across good news, please share it. Again, johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.